In this video, I'm gonna share 3 things that I've learned from my first year of being on YouTube. At the time I'm recording this video, I'm almost at 4,000 subscribers and over 215,000 views, which is literally just insane for me to think about. And all that happened in 1 solid year of YouTube. And it can all be summed up into 3 lessons that I've learned this year, so let's talk about it. I feel like the first lesson that I've learned this year is that consistency really matters. And it's in like multiple ways. So first of all, YouTube rewards consistency on the platform. So there is something to be said for having a consistent posting schedule and showing up time after time that shows YouTube, hey, I'm serious about this. Here's what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm trying to be consistent on the platform and I'm putting out content at this time or on this day or twice a month or once a month, once every week. Whatever that pattern is, YouTube starts to recognize that pattern and it will reward that because it knows that people can rely on you as a channel. And there won't be this sporadic, like, oh, they posted 1 week, but then they haven't posted for like 3 or 4 weeks, and then they posted 3 videos and then they didn't post for 4 more months. Building in that consistency is not only, number 1, rewarded by YouTube, and helps to grow your channel. But number 2, it really helps you become the YouTuber, if that makes sense. Being consistent and setting a goal of I'm gonna post, so for instance, my goal was to post at least once every week of this year. And so making that my goal forced me to become disciplined and become the YouTuber that's gonna be consistent. Look, this is what I set out to do. This is how often I said I'm going to post. And so for this entire year, I have posted at least 1 video every single week. And now I've built in the systems, the patterns, the habits of creating a video every single week, or at least having some pre-planned if I was gonna be out of town or if I was, gonna be sick and I was kind of feeling it, I could pre-plan to film some videos, I could batch film, whatever I had to do, I made sure that I had a video to post every single week. And to me, that was like the formation process of really becoming the creator, the YouTuber, doing the thing. Because I set the goal and then I accomplished the goal every single week. And so that recurring pattern created a routine and a system in my life to actually be able to do this long term. And so if you're someone that's thinking about starting a YouTube channel in 2026, first of all, 100% just do it. Start your channel, film your first videos. They're going to be terrible, you're not going to like them, but just get them out there because the more you do it, the better you will become and the more you'll be able to learn, but you can't learn if you're not doing. So figure out your posting schedule, that discipline that you want to have, whether it's once a week, twice a week, once a month, every other month, and be consistent in that. Because not only does YouTube reward consistency, that's been proven on my channel just from the great growth that I've seen in this 1 year, but also that consistency will grow you into being the YouTuber. So that's lesson 1. Consistency is key. Now, lesson 2 is probably the most important, hence in red lights, and that is investment. Now, yes, I know this can mean several different things. This is multi-angled, okay? Investment. Number 1, you need to be investing in yourself. You need to be putting in that frame of mind that says, look, if I'm wanting to be a YouTuber, then we're going to invest in the knowledge, the gear, we're gonna invest the time, I'm gonna invest in myself, I'm gonna invest the discipline, I'm gonna invest the consistency to actually do this. And throughout this year, I feel like investment has been key to my YouTube success and my YouTube growth. I started off not having a clue what I was doing. I'm a very experienced filmmaker of over 7 years, but jumping into the YouTube world was completely different because if you're gonna be on YouTube, then you have to play the YouTube game. You've got to figure out what's working, you've got to have a system, and you've got to be able to know how to accomplish your goals in order to get somewhere. So I started out not knowing any of that, just making videos that I kind of wanted to make, was doing, no research, didn't have any education really on how to do YouTube correctly. And so for those first few months, I didn't really have a lot of success. But when I finally started to invest in YouTube education, I started looking up free stuff online, I discovered Think Media, and I bought VRA, which I highly recommend you looking into VRA and all of Think Media's stuff. Even their free YouTube channel stuff, just go watch it. It's the best information for growing on YouTube. And I started to discover the system of putting in some research before you film your videos, and then going off of the cues that your audience is giving you. If they're liking this style of video, let's make another spin-off of that style of video. And if this video doesn't work, let's pivot and try this kind of video. I invested in all kinds of workshops. Some of them were free, some of them were low cost, some of them were high cost. But I did so much education this year to try to get better at communicating, better at YouTube, better at the system for YouTube, what's working, how am I supposed to approach videos, and all of this played into my success and growth on YouTube. I not only invested in education, I started investing in different little pieces of gear that would streamline my workflow, make my processes easier, such as motion VFX. Now, this video is not sponsored by them, but I genuinely love motion VFX plugins for DaVinci Resolve. I discovered them halfway through the year, and when I say that they improved and sped up my workflow, I'm not kidding. It's not hype at all. I've been, like I said, a filmmaker for over 7 years, so I've been editing video for over 7 years. And so when I tried these plugins, I was literally like, why have I not been using plugins for all of these years that I've been editing? They have the perfect titles, they've got backgrounds, they've got built-in camera movements that you literally just drag and drop whatever type of zoom in or zoom out or dolly in or dolly out or swirly effect or a spin effect. That you don't have to do it manually anymore. Motion VFX has a plugin pack for it. So that was one thing I invested in. I invested in different little accessories that just absolutely sped up my workflow and made the process easier. Whatever you can do to remove friction in your creative process is important for you to be able to continue to do it long term. So little things like clamps or a new lens or something that just, when I get in here to create and I put it on the camera or I set it up or I add it in the background, whether it's a light or a clamp or a mini tripod or a lens or a microphone, whatever that might be that I invested in, if it makes the process seamless and just oh, now I'm ready to create. Oh, I don't have to worry about this, it's already done. Or I've already got this set up and it looks fantastic. Or this added the thing that I always wanted it to look like. That's when you know that you made a good investment in that piece of gear. So if you take anything else away from this video, invest. Invest in yourself, invest in education, invest your time, invest a little bit of money into this if you're serious about being a YouTuber or a creator in 2026. And lesson number 3 will be the lesson that will make or break your YouTube journey. And that is that you have to have a strong why. That's been one of the most important things that I have learned this whole year, this first year of me being on YouTube. If you don't have a strong why of the purpose behind your channel, then it will be extremely difficult to keep going, because you're going to hit those phases where no one's watching, none of your videos get views, you spend hours on a video, no one watches it, you put your heart and soul into something that you're this is gonna help somebody, and then only a few people watch it, and that can be so discouraging. You can have no ideas, you don't want to film, you're going to have days where it's so hard to make yourself do the thing, or you're not going to have any inspiration, you're just going to be you know what, we just won't film this week. And during those situations, you have to remember your why. Why am I doing this? What's the purpose of my channel? What's my underlying foundation of why I'm doing this? And your reason can be whatever your reason is. And personally, my reason for doing this is kind of multifaceted. I want it to be a business, but I also genuinely want to help people. I want to invest in people and teach them what I know, what I've learned, what I am learning, and be that person that I wish I had had when I started. I want to actually make filmmaking education make sense for people. I have a dream of creating courses. I'm actually working on a couple of courses right now. Stay tuned for that in the new year. I love to teach. I want to invest in people, and I want to share my knowledge, also leaving that lasting legacy of everything that I've learned and putting that out there to be kind of a legacy is kind of the best word that I can come up with for that, but that lasting impact on people. So when it's really hard and I don't have any ideas and I'm frustrated, and the last several videos I posted only got a few hundred views instead of a few thousand views, I have to go back to my why, that I'm doing this to help people, to make it make sense for people, to turn that light bulb on, and also just to make a positive impact. I always want to be an encouraging, positive influence on others. So if you are thinking about starting a YouTube channel, especially in 2026, you need to start with your why. You need to figure that out up front. And I highly suggest that you get Think Media's Niche Finder course, because this really helped me start to dial in who am I talking to, what's my audience, what do I want to talk about, what's my channel about, and that direction gives you your why. And if you can land on a solid why and have like a purpose or mission statement for your channel, that's gonna sustain you through those difficult times on YouTube. And yes, YouTube is hard and there are some very difficult times, but it's one of the most rewarding things I've ever done in my life. And that was just 3 lessons that I've learned from my first year on YouTube. I hope that was helpful for you if you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel in 2026. I think you should go for it, do it. It's so fulfilling. I have had so much fun this year and I can't wait for what's to come in 2026. I've got some exciting stuff planned. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any video ideas that you would like to see on my channel in 2026. Stay tuned for my DaVinci Resolve course that's coming out very soon. Sign up with that link in the description if you want to get notified. And I just want to say a huge thank you to all almost 4,000 of you that have subscribed this year. You that are watching this video right now, I just want to say thank you for making the channel what it is. I'm so grateful and I can't wait to see where this goes in the future. I look forward to a lot more years on YouTube. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video, comment down below what your favorite video from this year was on my channel. And I'll see you guys in 2026.